Hello and welcome to Team Liquid's strategy guide series for Liberation of Undermine. I'm Eiya, and today I'll be breaking down the mechanics and strategy for normal and heroic Rik Reverb. A two-phase encounter, Rik Reverb alternates between a main phase, party starter, and an intermission phase, hype fever. During the main phase, Rik repeatedly places amplifiers that must be drained of energy while emitting sound waves that should be dodged. During the intermission phase, Rik flies away and the raid must stand near the indicated amplifiers to be knocked over waves of sound caused by blaring drop. During the third intermission, Rik will enrage, sacrificing his damage reduction for Hype Fever, which increases his damage dealt by 300%. He will then continuously cast blaring drops, aiming to end the encounter quickly while still allowing a brief window to defeat him in this phase. Main phase abilities. Amplification. Rik deploys a sonic amplifier beneath himself and under groups of ranged players. Players should avoid being hit by landing amplifiers. Amplifiers gain energy over time. If an amplifier reaches 100 energy, it casts Haywire, dealing potentially lethal raid-wide damage and emitting extra projectiles. Players can interact with amplifiers to drain their energy, but will gain Lingering Voltage, a dot that increases damage taken from draining amplifier energy for 45 seconds. This is on normal and heroic. Amplifiers also have additional effects. Resonant Echoes. These emit echoes that apply a dot upon collision. Raid-wide ramping damage, which increases based on the number of active amplifiers in the arena. Echoing Chant. All amplifiers emit resonant echoes in random directions. Sound Cannon briefly tracks a player with a beam pattern before zapping all players inside the beam. Faulty Zap applies a dot to several players. Affected players should spread out according to the visual indicator around their character. Spark Blast Ignition summons pyrotechnic adds that must be killed within 15 seconds. These adds cause fire swirlies to spawn under players around them. If not killed in time, they explode, dealing wipe-inducing raid-wide damage. Tank Mechanics. Position Rik at least 15 yards away from amplifiers, as his presence causes them to gain energy more quickly. Sonic Blast. Rik's melee attacks deal frontal cone damage and apply tinnitus, which is something I also have from listening to music too loud. Tanks should swap at 7 to 10 stacks, depending on comfort. Intermission abilities. Sound Cloud. When Rik flies away, he gains 99% reduced damage taken. Blaring Drop. Players must stand near amplifiers to be knocked over and gain immunity from the resulting wave. Once all amplifiers have been used, Rik returns to the main phase. Here's some quick tips. Control amplifier spawns through boss and ranged positioning. Assign players to manage amplifier energy to prevent any from reaching Haywire. Use speed utility for intermission movements and during echoing chant. And that's it. We hope you found this guide useful, and if you have any questions, feedback, or comments, feel free to leave them below. Stay tuned for more boss guides covering Liberation of Undermine. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!